Our ladies, our glamorous ladies.
Hey.
Our ladies, our glamorous ladies.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Yes, what's going on, glamorous girl? Look at Charlene still grooving. Go on, Charlene. What she doing?
That's right.
Listen, God is good.
Yes,
God
He
is
is.
real good.
He is so good.
Put my pearls on.
Got your pearls on?
Got the pearls
I put my pearls on, but I ain't.
All you gotta do is show up.
We got on our black, so we
got on our
Okay,
another pearls too. Okay.
We coordinated. We
represent the Black History Month and their work the Heart Health Month. You know, we're gonna put it all together. Valentine's Day, Pretty Lady.
A little bit of love.
Love. The red is for the love, our hearts.
Hearts.
Yeah, real love. Like real love. This is
real
love. Black women are real love. Women are real love. We the best.
Yes, we are. We bring love into the world.
Let's keep that. Let's remind everybody out there that we are the backbone of this country, and don't you ever forget it. This is real love. So we're gonna use this as real love, honey.
Real love. Some real love. We're going to continue to share real love. We're going to continue doing it in spite of what's going on. It's a lot happening, y'all. We got a whole show for that later.
Woo.
But right now,
none of that. We want to keep a happy heart month, right?
Happy heart.
Yes.
We got time for that. But we already know where we're living in, what's going on. And I believe we are addressing every situation that's going on right now as we speak. In this country, in this world, this platform is speaking on it all the way across the board. So I'm thankful for this platform. I'm thankful for our sisters. I'm thankful for us being able to come together and have these kind of discussions. And thankful for the type of guests we have to keep us going. And Lynn, this is your day talking about health and wellness, girl. If we don't have health, we can't get well. We won't be well to continue.
We won't be around.
We won't be around.
That's right. Bottom line. So I'd like to thank our studio audience and everyone out there in the world. Please, I want you to like and I want you to share. I want you to like and share all over the country. Let people know that we are on the show. We are here at 4 Sisters Live.
Yeah. Yes. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Mary.
Facebook, wake up.
Hey, Mama.
In the house.
Please share.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about today and a lot to discuss. Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama. And then this is great. This is good conversation today on this health and wellness because so much is happening surrounding our health.
Yes, everything is happening.
And so, it's always great when you can come on and have our guests to speak on where we are in that regard. So, our health is so important, more now than ever, as always. But like we see it happening before our very eyes, how our health is being attacked, if you will.
Yes, and it's not only our physical health, but it's also, which is also physical, our mental health.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about both today. We're going to a packed show. I'm going to have our very own delicate Jamila Woods of Maryland. We're going to have her in the house. We're going to talk about mental health, and we're going to have our very own John Smith, who will talk about lifestyles. We're going to talk about taking care of our loved ones. It comes a point in everyone's life that you will have to take care of one of your or two of your oh Lord, your loved ones. I'm so excited about this show. So much stuff. I'm getting tongue tied, but it's
it is. Our seniors, our elders, our moms, our dads,
even our children. Children even. So this is the subject for today. We want you to call your family, call your friends. This is a real heart-filled show that we will be talking about us.
Yes, absolutely. Doing this Black History Month.
Black History Month. Yes.
Happy Black History Month, everyone.
Happy Black History Month. Listen, support.
Black History Month. Yeah, we got something for you all, Dante. What we got to show everybody? We got Black history, American history, our history, her history.
Yes.
Our history.
Yes.
And look, Say about Black History. Look who we have honoring today.
Woo! Yes.
This your girl, Lynn.
This is my girl, Texas Holding herself, Beyonce. No.
This ain't Texas.
Carter. Okay.
She won that. She did that at the Grammys. I
Yes,
promise
she
you. I'm
did.
so
She
happy.
did.
Let's give some claps up for her. We got some
Woo,
claps.
woo. I have to
You
give
deserve that. We need
a
to
hoot and a
applaud
toot
her.
for winning the album of the year.
Yes.
Go girl.
She
broke the country western glass ceiling. That's what she did. Okay.
Yeah. She's
Yes,
hot.
she did. I'm so proud of her. So she is history, and that's who I'm nominated for Black History for this year.
Thanks, Linda. She was really surprised. So
I'm so happy for her daughter. If anything,
oh yes,
so happy
yes,
for Ivy, because she's growing up and she's becoming a lady.
yes, she
I like
is.
to see that she is being groomed as a lady. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we all Black History. Now we got
Super Bowl Sundays coming. Yay! Two black quarterbacks head to head.
Two black quarterback, Holmes and Hurt.
Okay. Boy, this is going to be an awesome weekend, guys.
Who is this? Eagles against who?
The Eagles and the Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs.
I have no clue.
I know.
I stopped giving count after the Cowboys and Redskins and
Girl.
Man, I don't know these other guys. Wow, Eagles. Okay.
Well, we know we have two black brothers representing in the Super Bowl, so that's what's up. And whether it's your team or not playing, we got to root for the brothers. So whoever win, I'm okay.
Okay.
I don't care.
I'm okay with it.
Well, then
I don't know.
I care? I don't know.
That's what I said.
I really don't know. You're right. I don't care because the Commanders are not in, so I'm just going to.
The Ravens not in.
The Ravens
okay, so I don't know anything about all of this.
Okay, I'm just gonna be a girl. I'm gonna pick green because I like green. Okay, that's what. I have to choose a color.
Yeah, green. Yeah,
green.
Me too.
I'm gonna choose green. I
like
green.
that. That's my favorite.
Well,
color.
because they're on the East Coast and they're part of us within up the road, we should go for the Eagles. Okay,
we should go for
East
green.
Coast strong.
Yeah, go for the green. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. So there you have it.
Yeah, there you go.
We settled that. We settled that.
Khadijah's in the house.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, y'all. Come on
everybody.
Come on in, everybody. We love y'all so much. Our producer said, he said, what's going on in our world?
Okay. Perfect.
All right, what's going on, Pat?
Well, you know what? What's really going on in our world, ladies, on a serious note, we know last week where we were celebrating, and we'll continue to celebrate our dear sister,
Yes.
Dr. Renee Starlin Allen.
Yes.
Still for real.
Yeah. We have
that was a beautiful program.
A beautiful sending home. Yes.
Oh my God, it was star-studded.
Star-studded. Yes.
Homegoing celebration. I call it a celebration.
And you know who did the program, right?
No, who did the program?
One of our sisters, Angela Bell.
Angela did it. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful.
And you can find it online. Is that correct, Peggy?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you can find a link. I can send you the link.
Okay. Yeah. All right. For those who missed it and you want to see what happened,
I just want to say, this is just still beautiful in itself. The way, show that first picture that we have her that cover, just for all of you all that were not able to attend.
Yeah.
The picture,
the cover,
the cover.
Okay.
Probably we want to show the cover right quick. That's how she looked.
Just like that.
Beautiful. Just like that.
That is how
she left here, guys. Looking
she was looking beautiful as she always.
We thought she was gonna get up, like everything.
I know.
Back look, the beautiful pink lips, the eyelashes, the hair, just beautiful. And she had on this beautiful purple ring. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that detail.
Yeah, that was detail. You got a good look.
Very, very pretty. So we want to give kudos and love and shout outs to Letitia Thornhill, the makeup artist, the
makeup artist. She's my makeup artist too.
Shout out to you,
Yes.
Lakeisha. You did an excellent job, girl. Thank
And
you.
you know what? I want to also make note that Councilwoman Walla Bagay has recognized February the 1st as Dr. Renee Allen's Day.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Miss her so much. We miss you, girl.
We miss you, Renee.
Oh my
miss you.
God, we miss you so much.
Woo. Yes.
Mm.
Okay,
Oh,
ladies.
Lord,
Let me tell you, I got to share this with you.
Okay.
It was on Monday. I was in the grocery store, and I turned around and looked, and this young lady said, Peggy. And then she said, Renee. She didn't know anything about what had happened to Renee.
Ooh.
She was, when I told her Renee had passed, she said, look, I have to leave. She said, I got to go home.
Right.
She couldn't take it. And this was a young lady that went to Ghana with us. She was a doctor. And she went to Ghana with Renee and I. And I tell you, found out talking to her later that she had been dealing with cancer. Her mother just died of cancer. So she had no vision of what was going on in the outside world.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, this is a lot. It's very heavy for us. That's why we have to be strong. And I said earlier in our show this year that the word is connect. Stay connected, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
We must stay connected because it's so much. And this is what happens when you don't stay connected. Not that you don't mean to, but when you don't stay connected, things like this happen and you don't know.
You don't know.
You just don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's always that reminder to stay connected.
Yeah.
So just another reminder to not only stay connected, but be preparing and planning like we're going to be talking about today.
We'll be talking about
Let
that.
me share one more thing before we go leave
Yeah.
Renee.
Mm-hmm.
Renee left this world in peace.
She did.
But I tell you one thing, she will never be forgotten. There's too many people who know her. When you see them, the first thing you think of is Renee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's still, as far as I'm concerned, she's still here.
She's still here. You should be watching over us and guiding us. And, woo, how she do that thing? Yeah, so, we'll have one of those moments. Ring that bell moment, toot that horn.
Yeah, we got to keep a bell
that's
around.
why I have this horn, because she had a bell, and I said I need something.
Exactly.
So that's in honor of her.
So we salute you, girl. We salute
you. Our birthdays. What we got?
Oh, we got to have a birthday. We got to have a little bit of joy. Okay.
Happy birthday
for our sisters who's celebrating a birthday.
Happy birthday. Anybody celebrating a birthday, let us know. Put in the chat.
Yeah, we have Marty Bell who's celebrating a birthday. Mary Merrill, Ruthie Lucas,
birthday.
Linda Marshall, Lauren Lassiter, and my favorite, Tia.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, guys.
Happy birthday. On Heart Health Month. Yes, it is. Ooh, okay, our hot picks. Where we going?
Oh my God. So we had some hot picks and things. We got a lot happening in the community as well in our circle.
Oh, wow. The
annual
Black History.
Our very own Deb Moss, she sent us the 7th annual Black History Month program, and it will be at the Martin Luther King Library, and that is on February the 17th, 2 o'clock, from 2 to 4. So we want everyone to come to support what's happening, which happens at this for the last several years. We're helping our students in the area colleges with things that they need. So we want you to bring your things that a student would need to this program. And it's called the 7th Annual Black History Program, celebrating our past, present, and future. And it's an awesome program. We have awesome guests, and you'll hear more about it next week on our show.
Oh, awesome. Deb Moss. She's done an amazing job.
Deb Moss is the founder.
And we should probably go on and bring her on next week to talk more.
Yes.
And this one here is one of my favorites. I've been going through this for the past 11 years, I guess you would say. And it's one of our sisters, Dr. Tashika Green, in honoring her mother, Dr. Deborah C. Arthur Belgian, Women of Virtue Walking in Excellence. And what I want to say about this is that we have 4 of our sisters. I love the number 4, right? 4 of our sisters that will be honored. And I want to say shout outs to Connie Bell, shout out to Linda's already with us. Linda's going to be honored.
Linda.
Wow. Dr. Oh my God, my brain is fried on me. Dr. Lloyd Dorsey is another one that's going to be honored, and Denise Petway. So,
all right,
guys,
congratulations! And this is in March.
Yes,
March 29th.
Yes, she
does going to be a celebration located in Bowie, Maryland.
Okay, so you'll hear a lot more about this to come.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Okay. Oh, here we have the
red. I think we have. There you go. You have it.
The Red Dress Gala. We know every year we dress up, and you see we have on our Red Heart Health Month, our very own Florence Champagne. We almost said King, boy, Florence Champagne. The Red Dress Gala Awards 2025. This is the 10th year of grace. It's a 2-day event. That's February the 21st and the 22nd. The first event is the Health Equity Symposium, which will be at the Cardiovascular Health location to be announced. Okay, and also the Red Dress Gala will be at Martin's Crosswind. That's at 7400 Greenway Court, Greenbelt, Maryland. So you want to get your tickets if you don't have it, if they have any left. So
you know what, Linda, I forgot to say one because I had to shout out to the DMV Link Sisters. We are having the 17th annual DMV Red Links Dress Gala, so to speak, events, but this is free. This is free. So it will be on Facebook Live. It will be free, and I'll send out the link again, but please join. Like right now, the sisters are at the UDC, and they are doing something for our young men and women and teaching them how to handle stress, like taking things like Tai Chi and yoga. Our Black brother, young
we need this. We need this, and we need to send this to our families. Yes.
So they're at the UDC campus right now, teaching our young people. There's so many college kids, but
what's the date on that?
They're having it right now
as we speak.
As we speak, they're having it, but the 17th annual one is going to happen online. So they'll have more. So it's a continuation of celebrating Healthy Heart Month. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, so are we ready for our guests?
We are. Let's talk about it.
Moving right along. Okay, well, our first guest. Today we're going to be we will be talking about staying home and taking care of our loved ones. Dante is going to do a little clip. We have our very own Tamika, Dr. Tamika Mosley, who on Facebook, she's been sending out her daily journey of taking care of her mom, because she has dementia, but dementia does not have her. For the simple reason, we want to feed them, we want to make sure they exercise, etc. And we're going to have our very own lifestyle navigator, Mr. John Smith, who is one of our own brothers of Sister for Sister Network, and he's an RN, and I will introduce you. But at this time, Dante, will you give us our clip? As you can see, she's watering plants. Keep it busy. Stay alive. Stay active.
Awesome.
Isn't that awesome? And to Tamika Mosley on Facebook, and follow her, because every single day she's sending you things that she's doing to help her mom through this journey. And there's so many of our family members are going through a journey. If it's not dementia, it could be it could be cancer, but we will have to learn how to take care of our family members if you want them to live longer. That's just the bottom line. And so at this time, at this time, we have Mr. John Sayi Smith Jr. is a best-selling author and visionary entrepreneur behind multiple and multi-million-dollar companies known as the Lifestyle Navigator. He specializes in helping clients escape financial bondage, create generational wealth, and to live life on their terms. Creator and the transformative program like the 3D Wealth Roadmap and how to pay off your mortgage in 5 years. John's expertise powers individuals to overcome challenges achieved in financial freedom. He's a registered nurse and elder care advocate. His book, Their Independence, Your Peace of Mind, highlights planning for aging loved ones. John's charisma inspires audience to unlock their true potential. I bring to you our brother, John Smith. Yay! How you doing, John S. Smith?
I'm doing fantastic.
Hi, John.
How you doing? How's everyone doing?
We're doing
Hi, John.
wonderful.
I did not get the memo. Will I get my red shirt or red suit as well?
You representing Black history. Black
It's never
history.
too late, John. It's never
We need
too
some
late.
black in the house, so we got some black. Got your black on. Tell us, John.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, John, let's get started. Tell us, how did you start this journey with helping us to take care of our loved ones? Why did you do that? Why did you see that?
So that's a good question, because that kind of go back all the way back to my personal experience that I had when I came to this country in 2001 from Liberia. I got injured, rushed to the hospital, then from OR to ER, of ER to OR, got helped at the time. So when I got helped and found myself surviving that scenario, then that's when I made this determination that I'm going to be the advocate for those who really need help. Quite at the time, I don't have any friend in this country, no family, nobody. I was at the bedside recovering all by myself.
Yes.
Remember that morning, I looked around, I shed tears, not tears of pain from the surgical site, but tears of just being lonely, being there all by myself with no help, no support, no assistance. So that's really what really kind of get me to the point where I'm like, you know what? If I survive this, I'm gonna do something in healthcare, be an advocate for those who are voiceless, be an advocate for those who can advocate for themselves, and be an advocate for those who need help. So that's pretty much where all got started. And then in 2006, I became an RN. And I went to PG Community College. Then I went to University of Maryland to get my bachelor's degree in nursing. Then in 2009, I started like a private duty home care services, caring for the elderly population, advocating for them, helping them so that they can be able to live in their own home independently and vibrantly.
That is awesome. That's an awesome story, because, so many of us are experiencing taking care of our loved ones. And
Yes.
Peggy, our sister Tamika, as you can see in our clip, and many others. I even had to take care of a friend of mine 2 years ago who had no family here. And she was just a girlfriend that God put me with, because I didn't know her, as say 10 years before. We happened to meet on the street. And as it turned out, I had to bring her into my home to take care of her during her cancer battle. So this is real.
Yeah, it is so real.
It's real.
Yeah, it's very real. It's very real. John, I wanted to ask you, because on my own personal note, for my family, my sister is actually taking care of my mom full time now.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom, we wanted her to move with my sister and her husband, because they felt it was better facilitate for her to be, we're not putting our mom in a home. So that was off the table. That was a no-brainer. However, it is a big challenge.
It is.
It's a challenge, because it's a lot to do for them. They cannot do for themselves. So how can they be able to get funding or get money to help with assisting living with them, once you take on this challenge of taking care of your parents or loved ones?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Did you hear my question?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear your
Yeah.
question.
You heard it.
Yeah. So, but that's a good question. But I would take a 2 or 3 step back,
Okay.
right, before I can answer that question. So the first thing we have to think about is number one, we have to know that at some point we're gonna age at some point, right? We're gonna get old at some point, or we have our parent who's getting older. We know at some point they will not be able to care for themselves.
Mm,
So
that's
the
true.
first thing need to happen is that to start what I call a tough conversation, right? You have a tough conversation with them in terms of at some point, if you can't care for yourself, what would that look like? At the end of life, how do you want to live? Where do you want to live? So they begin to ask those questions. That's number one thing that sometimes we miss that piece, right? When it comes to
Mhm.
caring for our loved ones. So if we sometimes our people we don't want to talk about it, right? Even
Right.
ourselves, we deny that ourselves. Even like when I talk to my wife and everything, I start the conversation. I say, "Oh, we need to get a home that is just one level." She's like, "What do you mean? We're living here with 5 kids." I said, "I understand that. Well, guess what? We're gonna be like this for the next 50 years, you know."
Right. Right. Right.
I
Right.
hear you.
Start with that first, right? The realization that we're gonna get to at some point. That's the first thing. Start the first conversation with your loved ones. And the second is now begin to put together a checklist of your document, your legal document, power of attorney, all those things like living will, all the different things, your estate. Begin to put those together, right? And then think about at some point, if you can't care for yourself, do you have enough to care for you? If the answer is no, then what is your end game? What is other option do you have? So I think when we kind of start from that, I think it's help a lot, not just for our immediate family, even our friends, right? Like you mentioned,
Mhm.
someone come to you, want to stay at your place. I get those call all the time. Like the same
Mhm.
thing, people come in asking for this. I ask the same question. The first thing, do you want to live at your own home? Where do you want to live? Right? Everybody want to age in place, age in their own home. But we have to start from somewhere. We have to have that plan, advanced plan in mind. When you have that plan in mind, then it helps us now to begin to see what option do we have,
Mhm.
right? So
Yes.
that's where we start. If
Mhm.
I don't know if I answer a question, but that's why we start first. Before I start saying where's the money at, right? If you go to the state, right, the state has limited funding. If you think about Medicaid, guess what? Medicaid got all this list of requirements, all that kind of stuff. You have to meet all those requirements, right? Which I think is the last option, right? But you have to start from okay, this is the reality. Let's start from somewhere first and then move to the next level.
Mm. That makes a lot of sense.
Makes a
We
lot.
don't. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Charlene. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, how do you find money to take care of your aging, you know, family members? Because sometimes they run out of money for Medicare to Medicaid. I don't know all the terms right now, and I'm still learning with my own mother. And I'm just wanting to know how do you find the money? Where do you find the money? And now with this administration, will there even be money coming from some of those sources to help us?
And that's a good question. Was everybody always say, okay, where's the money? Show me the money, right? Everybody wants to see the money, and sometimes you go to Medicaid as your point, and the Medicaid only gets X number of requirement in terms of that. But it still go back to the advanced planning, right? Option one, let's say you plan ahead, right? It's okay. When I'm aging, I ask myself if I can care for myself, I need someone to care for me, right? Do I have enough in the bank to care for me? If the answer
Mm.
is no, right? Okay, what can I do now when I'm still healthy to begin to accumulate that money, right? So that I can care for me at the end of the day that I can do that. Now, let's say you're gonna get past that, you couldn't get that. Now you have your place, you don't have any money to your point, all those options, you don't have those options. Now you look at Medicaid, maybe you don't have a Medicaid option, right? Or Medicaid only give you 3, maybe 4 or 5 hours a week, right? Which is not enough. So now the other thing is that okay, who are the support system who can help you to kind of support you with that? So every state in every county have some programs, like an elderly program that people usually have available to care for their loved one, like a non-profit organization. But most of those options are very, very short term, meaning that they only give you maybe a few hours in a week, right? Or few hours a day to care for your loved one. So to really say, okay, where the money are to really do that, sometimes it's really, really tough. And for those who are really helping to really provide some funding for that, sometimes it's out there, but it's not a lot or it's not sufficient to really care for you, especially if you need a round the clock care.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'm going to add into that because this does go into preparation and planning. Can you talk to us about the insurance part of that? Because a lot of us didn't come from money. We don't talk about insurance, but there's long term. For instance, I know in our household we have long term. I didn't plan for long term, but the spouse has long term. But there's long-term insurance. Can you talk to others about how you can plan for long-term using insurance right now while you're young as it relates to your parents?
All right, so I think one of my book here, I think the one that we I think was mentioned earlier on. Lina mentioned that your independent of peace of mind. If you look at the page 25, right, of that book, I'm gonna just kind of go over that real quick. So you kind of talk a little bit about exactly what you referencing, because you talk about long-term care. Where's the money, right? So sometimes you have to kind of think about where are those monies at. Let's say you run out of option, Medicare, Medicaid, none of those is happening, but you're looking at the long-term care, right? So let's say you get some insurance, let's say all this insurance product, right? Sometimes they have a long-term care option, right? In some of those things, right? And some of those programs. So you need to think about which of the riders in those insurances cover long-term. And if you don't, how can you put that rider in that insurance option that you have, right? And it's important at this time to begin to plan that. And it's good that you put that rider in your insurance before it gets too late, right? Because by the time you get sick and you're trying to now add that there, then it become difficult for you to kind of do that, right? So there is a insurance product under the annuity, right, that can actually kind of cover that if that is done appropriately, and if you do it the right way on how it should be done, that you can begin to kind of accumulate things over time with this, and then that kind of help you to gradually build that over time. So that's one area that you can do that. Another area option I'm seeing also, which is not like an insurance product, is what maybe I don't know if you guys are kind of have had this in the past, that I think most people discourage that now, is what they call the reverse mortgage, right? When people are, turning their property with the hope that they're gonna care for you until maybe you pass. So when you pass, then that property, whatever, now belong to the company or the whoever caring for you. So that's some of the other options that people are like considering when it comes to how they can care for themselves, like in the future, right? So that those are two options. Unfortunately, last year I just become insurance agent or broker for the same reason myself, right? That now I have to learn it, because for me, if I'm talking it, I have to be doing it, not just talking and not doing it. So I have that so that I can help folks who need those things, that's those rider, or those who need that type of insurance, right? Like annuity, that you want to kind of apply for that in terms of what that will look like. And sometimes we don't really value that, or we don't know, or we think that, oh, we are not qualified. And then think about, oh, the government is going to be coming to your rescue, to your point, right? Nobody's going to come to our rescue. We're going to come to our own rescue.
Right.
We need to take care of ourselves.
We
Yeah.
got to take care of ourselves, have to plan
Yeah,
that.
we gotta
Yes.
plan. It's a lot of planning. I hear what you're saying, John. There's a lot of planning that goes into thinking, for ourselves in our community in reference to Black African American. We haven't been taught that. So bringing in those financial planners and seeing how real estate and insurance can play a part in us helping to take care of our parents. So it's just a different way of thinking, and with the knowledge that we get from people like Dr. George Frazier and other organizations, we now can make better decisions about how we can take care of our loved ones, because I would have never thought to use those particular tools to help me take care of my loved ones. Or I don't just think about my mom, I think about aunties and older friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's me. I'm not just thinking about my mom, I'm thinking about my community. It means something to me. So I'm not building my wealth for just Charlene and her family. I'm thinking about others who cannot, they just don't have it. I don't want to see my sisters or brothers who are in their 70s and 80s in a nursing home. You know, I don't want to see them, somebody mean coming inside by their bed and saying, I'm not going to feed you this chicken because it's bad for you. Like, if they're hungry, you
or
got to
just
feed
leave
them.
the food there, and because they can't use their hands. And I've actually seen this. They're leaving a plate and they're walking away and coming back and taking that same plate. But the patient couldn't eat the food, or the
Right.
patient couldn't lift their hands to eat. It's not that they didn't want it. It's just the fact that no one fed it to them. And you should not have to tell them, feed my sister.
All right. This is so good, isn't it, Linda?
This is good.
I know we
This
got
is good.
Janella coming up, but this is very good information.
Yes.
So
Can I say something to John?
One
Yes.
last thing real quick, maybe one or two things real quick. So you mentioned not just advocating for you by yourself, but other folks, right? So what I've seen people doing, right? I don't know if they have that in Maryland or other area. They start what it's called villages, right? So you have the villages module that works. So when you have the villages, you have the elderly population in that village, everybody look out for each other, right? In their own home, they look out for each other. Then when you begin to start doing that, right? So if Susie supposed to eat their food, you can come in and check on Susie. Then if Mary need help in the afternoon, someone come in and check on them. But the villages module works. So like in DC, they have that module in DC, and it works for that community, right? So that would be something that we can begin to your point, that we have to be advocating for ourselves. We can create a village. When we build a village, right? With that village module works because that person can still be on their own home. You can have someone caring for them in that area, checking on them every morning, making sure they take their medicine, making sure they eat their food, making sure that they go to that daycare center, making sure that they get to see their primary care doctor. All those things could be done, and that module works. But it has to be intentional if you want to do it right. And you have to make sure that you have the same people can actually help to support that. And so people get funding for that because it works.
And you know,
John, let me share this. I have.
What you gonna say,
talk at the same time. Let me share this. I am blessed that I have 5 sisters, and you talk about the village. This is how we operate, and I am just so happy that I have some sisters, biological sisters, who take care of my mother day in and day out. Okay, and if I did not have them, it would put a lot of pressure on me because I don't live in the area. So my question to you is, let's talk about the word on the street is self-care. How do these individuals that take care of other people take care of themselves? And we know what they are, but I'm just saying it's nice to be able to hear it.
Yeah.
So that's a good question. And a few weeks ago, I don't know if you guys have heard this before, right? That when you get in the plane, the first thing they will say is that put the oxygen on you first. If you got 10 kids, put the oxygen on you first, right? That is the first thing. If you don't take care for you, you can't take care of any other person, right? So self-care is very important. And how you can do that is, number one, what I call a clarity break. You need the clarity break. So the clarity break could be 30 minutes, it could be 1 hour a day, or it could be 1 hour a week, but it's very important that you take a clarity break. Where can you take the clarity break? All depends on you. You can take it outside your environment, outside your home, right? You can go so parallel prayer, you can do some work somewhere outside where you are. So that helps you with your mental health, right? Don't take a clarity break in your home, but somewhere outside that. If you do that, that will help you a lot to really like think, reflect. Then when you come back, you got more energy to help to support because you have that break. Then what if, right? You now have your mom and your dad at home you're caring for. How can you have a clarity break? The question, find an agency who can give you a break for 4 hours, 3 hours, 8 hours a day, where you can be there, that money worth the spending because you need that mind, your mind to clear. Get away from the environment. Have someone to care for mom. Get that respite care. Right? It's called respite. Get the respite care while you really getting away. So now you can take care of yourself. Eat right. Eat right. Sleep well. Talk to people like we do right now because the problem shared is half solved. Problem shared is half solved. Talk to
Yeah.
people. Share what you're feeling. Share your experiences. Get your clarity break. Then that can help you with your mental health.
Yeah.
Oh
So
Lord, we
John, we
want to
want
thank you,
right now
John.
we have Reverend Jamila,
Yeah,
Delegate Jamila on. I think since we're talking about this on this platform, it will be very nice to have her come in and join the conversation
that's a wonderful
at this
thing.
time. Thank you, Reverend Delegate Jamila Woods, everyone. Welcome as
Yes,
always, our
yes,
sister. We
thank
love
you.
you always for coming
Yeah,
in and being a part of this conversation that you know so much about and getting more clarity to people out there because they're loving this conversation. Actually, they're
yes,
loving it. And so by you being a part of us, the Sister for Sisters Network, you've always come and to shed light and educate all of us about this area. What can you tell us, and since you've been backstage listening, that you want to chime in on this and let us all know?
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to share. I want to start off, and hopefully Dante can help me with doing this, um, because when you ask the question about the caregiver and how we can make sure that we assure that the needs of the caregiver are met, so that the caregiver is exercising self-care, and that there's two ways that you can make that happen. The first way that I wanted to suggest is that in the state of Maryland, and I know everyone's not in the state of Maryland, but in the state of Maryland, they have something called the Maryland Durable Medical Equipment Reuse Program. And you can get to that link at aging.maryland.gov. That program is a phenomenal program in the state of Maryland that provides free durable medical equipment to Marylanders with any illness, any injury, or disability, regardless of age, absolutely free of cost. And I've talked to a lot of caregivers who were stressing because they were trying to care for loved ones and they were getting injured from doing things like trying to lift their loved one, trying to turn their loved one,
right.
trying to help to get them from one space to another. And there's durable medical equipment that you can get free of charge. That durable medical equipment even includes things like chair lifts. You can get free of charge. You can get that chair that your relative can sit in, or the person you're caring for, that the chair will pick them up. You can have electronic lifts. You can have wheelchairs, walkers, anything that you need. They even have had the stair lifts to lift a relative from the from one actor stairs to another. Again, it's completely free of charge. And so
Mm.
you can go to aging.maryland.gov. That's aging.maryland.gov. And you can actually fill out the basic DME. It's called the basic DME, which stands for Durable Medical Equipment Application. That is one way that you can also assist the person who's providing care to someone to help relieve some of the stressors that they feel. And then there's another site that you can go to called my.caring.com. Again, it's called my.caring.com.
Let's
And you
pull
can,
that up, D. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I was just talking to our production manager.
Oh,
Go ahead, Doctor Reverend Jamila. Go ahead.
you can find on at my.caring.com, you can actually look up the types of supports that you need as a caretaker to
Mm-hmm.
help your loved one. It'll ask you, please tell us what you, that's important, as a caretaker or your loved one needs. And you can check the boxes of the things that you need to help you to provide better care for your loved one. Okay. And then they'll ask you for information, and then they'll provide you with supports so that it can help you or your loved one with needs. And so we say that because, as was previously shared, it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress when you're trying to care for somebody else. And what we are afraid of, and what we've seen all too often, is what we call caregiver burnout, right?
Mhm.
Caregiver
Yeah.
is doing so much. We know that caring for, listen, in this day and age, caring for yourself is stressful enough. Somebody, if you
Right.
can't say ouch, can't
Yes.
boom shakalaka. Self-care is when you got to care for yourself and
Yeah.
care for
Mhm.
somebody else, you have to
Thank you,
be
D.
extremely careful. And one of the things that I know about caregivers, and let's just be honest, 9 chances out of 10, caregivers are some of the busiest people this side of heaven.
They are.
Mhm.
They are.
Yes.
It's part of what makes them become a caregiver because they're used to
Yes.
providing. It may not be medical care, but they're the kind of people who've always been the parenting. It doesn't matter how old they are, the parenting, the loving, the supporting, the person that has your back. And so you have to be very careful because we know that stress kills. And one
Yes.
of the worst things in life that we want to experience, and I've seen it, y'all. I've seen it, and I'm sure you have too. Caregivers caring for loved ones, and sometimes the caregivers pass before the loved ones, or
Mm.
pass
I've
immediately after
seen that.
Or
Yeah.
immediately after.
because
Yes.
of the stressors that have taken place. And so it's extremely important as a caregiver. And I just want to give some practical things that as a caregiver, you have to be careful of. You have to do that self check. John said you got to put that mask on first, right? You got to
Right.
put your mask on first before you can help any other vulnerable person. If you're not getting the oxygen, if you can't breathe, you can't help nobody else, right?
That's true.
And
Right.
so you have to pay attention as a caregiver to yourself, right? As a caregiver, there are some flags that say, okay, it's time to stop and check myself before I wreck myself. What are some of those signs? Are you always feeling tired? You're caring for somebody and you're finding yourself dragging when you finish. It's all you can do is go home and get in the bed, right? Are
Yes.
Mhm.
you sleeping too much or too little? Right? Are you
Yes.
experiencing rapid weight gain or rapid weight loss? Are you finding yourself doing things to self-medicate? You know, y'all know how folk are. I need a drink. You
I just need just a little bit.
Just a
listen,
little something, not a lot.
a drink or I might need a smoke. Listen, you got to
Okay. Need a smoke. Yes.
stop and check yourself and say,
Mhm.
what are the things that I'm seeing about myself? Are you more moody? Are you more agitated? You understand
Mhm.
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Are you finding yourself feeling sad all the time or feeling like there's no way out of this? You should never be imprisoned
Or
or
feel
feel
like you're on
like you're in
call all
prison.
the time.
You're trying to help somebody else be free, right?
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
We
it's so powerful.
as a caregiver that as a caregiver, if you are not taking care of yourself, self-care is not selfish,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That
sir.
caregiver,
Indeed.
open and honest about your own mental health. If you
Wow.
find yourself feeling anxious, if you find yourself feeling depressed, listen, as John said, you got to get away from them
Hmm.
and you
Hmm.
need to go see a therapist. You need to talk to somebody. That's a good thing. That's
Yeah.
a healthy thing. You need to address, are you eating? He talked about getting enough sleep. You need to make sure you're eating properly, getting enough sleep. Listen, you can't use for an excuse that I'm so busy caring for somebody else that I'm not taking care of my body. Are you getting
Wow.
good
That's true.
exercise? Are you getting
Mm.
everything that you need? Are you having that time to yourself, having that time to be social, to socialize with other things? Those are some of the things that have already been mentioned to you. And so it's extremely important as a caregiver that you get the supports that you need. Those support, as I said in the beginning, like things like durable medical equipment. I can't tell you how many people I've gotten medical equipment for, and I'm here to assist if anybody needs it. You can put my number in the chat. Also, my number is 410-841-3544. If I can ever help you navigate any of these things, then let me know. Let me tell you the other blessing. I serve on the Health and Government Administration in the Maryland General Assembly. Guess what? I have one-to-one firsthand contact with the presidents of your hospitals, with the
Woo.
CEOs of your hospitals. I have presidents and CEOs in their hospitals say to me, Jamila, I just had it happen, and I don't give names unless I get permission. But where somebody has called me and said, my loved one is in such and such a hospital and they're having this problem, you call me. I'm gonna call the head of that hospital. Did you hear what I said?
Okay.
I'm calling the head of the hospital. That's what I
You
can.
go, girl. That's
You
what I'm
What
talking
you
about.
know is who you
and
know.
and they come. I was with the head of MedStar, Southern Maryland Hospital, the head of the hospital. We had dinner the other night. He said, "Listen, If anybody ever comes to MedStar Southern Maryland and they're not satisfied, that you give me a call. I don't care what time you call me, day or night. I'm going to correct that. I had another person in Washington Hospital and Anne Arundel Hospital, and I called the person that was over. They called them that night. You understand what I'm saying? Call me, utilize me. That's what I am here for. Okay.
And Jamila, this is what I like about you. You're the advocate for all of us, even though we're not in that state of being cared for. It's that you're looking out for every last one of us.
Yes.
It's what
I love it.
For.
Yes.
I think sometimes maybe something was wrong with me, but it's what I signed up for.
Yes.
And this is the kind of representation that we want in the state of Maryland. And you know what? She's just not in one district. She represents us
all of us.
I represent
out the state of Maryland.
Million people. I tell people, do not get it twisted. I'm elected out of one district with 100 and some thousand people in it, but I am a Maryland state delegate, so I represent every constituent of 6.5 million people in the state of Maryland. So if you need me, you call me.
Delegate Jamila, wanted to ask you, since you are a part of what's going on in the community at large politically, can you give us what your stance on where we are with the mental, with the political, with the damnation that's happening in our world today?
And that's another good question. So, and I want to see, because you all were asking John specifically about finding funding and stuff for people who are having needs. And as a Maryland state representative, it's very discouraging. Me, Peggy and some of my sisters were with me in Annapolis on this past Thursday. Peggy, I was wound up being in that meeting for 6 hours. You all were there with me for about 3 or 4 of those 6 hours. No, 6 or 7 hours we were in these meetings. And so you need to understand, unfortunately, we are in a very difficult and challenging time. We are in a time where our current president is greatly reducing a lot of the aid that people have depended on, rely upon for things like just getting a meal every day, for getting services. Those services are being terminated. And so people are coming to us every single solitary day saying, help, you got to help us. And here we are in the state of Maryland with a $2 billion deficit. And so we are scrambling, looking for ways that we can try to assist. But I'm going to tell y'all, it's tough. What John said about that village, if we never needed a village before, we need that village now. We need people to open up their hearts, open up their homes, open up their pocketbooks, in whatever way that we can come together and be a support system to each other. We have got to make a commitment to do that. Take the time, strategize, talk about how he was saying that somebody checks to make sure that they got breakfast, check to make sure they got lunch, check to make sure that they're bathed. That village is essential, and more essential now than it has ever been before. The Bible tells us to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. And some of us need to stop and check ourselves and check. It goes back to that oxygen level. Check the level of love that we have for ourselves.
Yes.
So we'll have the capacity to be able to love our neighbors. When I was coming up, everybody knew their neighbors. I have neighbors to the left, to the right of me. I don't even know their names.
I don't know my neighbors.
And not because I have not actually reached out to them. I have actually gone and tried to meet my neighbors, and they were not receptive. We've got
That's happening.
When we came up, how many of you all remember when we grew up? I might be aging myself, y'all.
Go on, get that sugar from next door. Get some bricks from next door.
All of our porches, if you remember, were on the front of the house.
Yes.
All porches were on the front of the house.
Right.
And everybody knew each other because you came out on the porch and you stunk, you hung out, you laughed, everybody knew. And then we moved the porches to the back of the house. We moved the balconies to the back of the house. So we don't have that communication. We've got to get back to that place, right?
Yes.
We've got to get back to that place where we are intentional about loving our neighbors, knowing our neighbors. Okay. I remember when I first moved in my house, I used to every year have something in my yard. And I would take invitations to everybody on my block and invite them. And people are like, you are crazy. You like, no. Well, how many of y'all know we need that crazy right now?
We need
that crazy.
We need that crazy
right now.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's the piece.
Yes.
We probably got folk living right on our block
Yeah.
that can help us to form that village.
Yeah.
Mhm.
About making
Yeah.
a commitment and being intentional about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So true,
Oh my God, we can go on. Thank you
This has
so
been
much.
wonderful.
Our special guest, the very own John Smith, and our wonderful, wonderful delegate Woods. We want to thank you. We want to keep this conversation going. I want you to talk to your families. I want you to show them this video right here. Word strong. Word strong. That is so. Black History Month.
Yeah. Thank you
Let's
both
keep
so
blacking
much
out.
for coming. Yeah.
Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you
And
anytime.
And we'll welcome you back, guys. We need the
come back anytime. And we want to
And-
continue this conversation with your family. Promise us you will keep this conversation and give it to your family. It's important. You never know when you're going to need it.
That's right.
Absolutely.
If I need to get a copy of your book, and certainly would love to collaborate with you and have you to meet some of my constituents and share some of that information.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Make that
If you want also not to just quick, if you anyone need a free copy of the book, I can delegate. I will let me know. I can come out, speak, and give it. It just is very short read. I can help folks who kind of start. It's on Amazon, but for those who are local, if they want a free copy, if you create an event, I'm more than happy to come in to come and share to give it out to folks who need it. It's very easy read for everyone.
Yes,
Amen.
that's how it all started. I happened to find it in my library, and I don't know how many years ago I've had it, but that's what started this conversation. So I thank you so much, John, for that.
This information, bring them in on my 26th district dialogue, and just have them to address the people, because that's how we get things started, like you said.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
you, guys.
Thank you, John.
Thank you so much, both of you. Bye-bye.
Wow, this is powerful stuff.
Awesome.
Health and wellness.
Powerful
Health and wellness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo.
This is
There's so
great.
much that we have to learn, and we learned a lot today. So I want you to, hey, we got to send this out to our family and our friends. We definitely got to send this show out.
So next week is our what? What's next week? God, it's gonna move so fast.
Education.
Who's on our guest next week?
Yeah. So next week we got a little surprise guest, but one of them might just be Dr. Tashika and Samuel Scott for self-defense. But we are excited about having others understand why it's so important to keep your legacy alive. So I think it's an appropriate time, being that we're in a season that we're in. So patient, invite.
Yeah, right. Well, look, we'll be back here. Say same bad stations, same bad.
Right.
Thank you all so much, Lynn. You had a great show today.
Thank you. I'd like to thank all of you. Yeah, we had the initiative with Reverend Bryant.
Yes, targetfast.org. Ladies and gentlemen, please spread the word that Reverend Pastor Jamal Bryant out of Atlanta, New Birth, is heading up and spearheading this targetfast.org. Just go on the site. You all know what to do. It explains everything. But we are on this target fast, as we are going to take a stand against those who do not want to take our dollars and don't respect us at the same time. So targetfast.org. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much. Oh, it's time for you to walk in your purpose and prosperity.
Thank you all again. We're out. Have a great week. Happy Black History
Month.
And happy Valentine's Day to all.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Bye.
Happy